Many thanks to Pandemonium, Fearless Rection Vanilla servers, Atlas, One Original DayZ servers, Clash Vanilla servers, Sheriff Line, Sauerkraut, Sgt. Pepper's DayZ Invasion server, PGZ servers, Waste Sea, Chernow's Cream Vanilla servers, and Tequila for making this video possible. DayZ 1.24 has just been released for all of us to play with, and like most patches, it comes with a ton of hidden info and future content hints. So to get everybody up to speed with this update, here are the 17 must-know changes of 1.24. Starting with the new stuff in 1.24, the Vikhr Rifle based on the real-life SR3M has joined the 9x39 family and is essentially the VSS but a smaller size, shorter length, smaller inventory size, same rate of fire, damage, recoil, same optics, etc. These weapons are almost the same, but most importantly, it does not have a fixed suppressor, but to compensate, it is slightly easier to find, with 7 of these spawning in Tier 3 military on both of the maps. The new Vikhr 30-round mag joins the 9x39 family too and can be attached to all 9x39 weapons, so that's the AS-Val, VSS and the new Vikhr, accepting armor-piercing rounds too. These armor-piercing rounds destroy armor slightly faster than an M4 in CQB, so the addition of the 30-round mag elevates this family to some of the best weapons in DayZ versus armor, not versus no armor. So the M4 is better versus no armor. The AP rounds bring it up to the level of the M4, with 4 of these mags spawning in Tier 4 Chernow's or Tier 3 Livonia in military areas. The 3 new Camo Helmets have a crazy high drip stat with the BDU and UCC jacket and pants, but are basically variations of the ballistic helmet, so I will consider these to be ballistic helmets too, unless these become different somehow, spawning in the same places that ballistic helmets do, which is all military areas on both of the maps. Infected will now take 20% extra health damage from blunt melee attacks, excluding fists, so only blunt melee weapons will have this, while doing 16% extra health damage to animals and 10% more to players based on when I tested it. I'll cover exactly how this mechanic works in a future video, as it appears to be very work in progress at the moment. There now appears to be a distinction in awareness between a normal infected that you find in towns and on the coast and the soldier infected types that you find in military areas, so all soldier infected types will now notice you further away and will be attracted to gunshots more than normal or coastal infected. From my tests, I'd guess that the soldier infected is around 25% more aware of your presence compared to the other infected. Now, only in the case of peeling a potato, the quality level of your knife drains the durability of a potato, not the quantity. So it literally damages the potato to warn quality level from pristine if you use a badly damaged knife, which could mean that they're testing damaging items based on tool durability levels, potentially resulting in ruining opened cans if the tool that you use to open that can has a low quality level, or draining the potential number of shots crafted crossbow bolts can be fired and retrieved because of the quality level destruction that your tool is doing to the item. We'll see how they develop this new mechanic in the future. Weapon raising is now much tighter to environments, making weapon raising a lot more predictable when it comes to raising your weapon. Overall, I would say that you will notice more weapon raising happening in this patch due to how weapon lengths have been increased, especially sword-off weapons, and previously smaller weapons like pistols and SMGs. They're going to be longer in this patch, but bayonet lengths have been slightly reduced. Be aware that where you raise a weapon is not going to be where you lower it now in this patch. To lower your weapon, you need to go further away from the object. All bleed healing methods are now continuous, making it much easier to survive multiple bleeds at once. To give you an example of these changes, patching 3 bleeds with bandages was 20 seconds, now it's 15. Using rags to patch 3 bleeds was 40 seconds, now it's 30 in total, where the sewing kit was 30 and now it's 23. This works out to be around 25% faster, but due to the stacking effect of stopping each bleed faster, it's much more than a buff of 25%. Infected would now be slightly less aware of suppressed gunshots, but this change is barely noticeable, with impact sounds attracting them slightly less too. When alerted, infected will stay in this alerted state for 20% longer in this patch, but all infected are less attracted to gunfire in this patch. That's unsuppressed gunfire they're less attracted to. In the last patch, gunfire strongly alerted infected up to around 180 meters. Now it's 110 meters, meaning you will attract all infected around 40% less from unsuppressed weapons only. The fireworks launcher now has a new sound effect tied to it, sounding much more like fireworks should. but the sound distance and the light maxes out at around 1100 meters still, like it did last patch. The SKS has new sounds for all of its environments, so forests, interiors and exteriors, and as a result of these changes can be heard up to 10% further away, so 2800 meters now, which is about average for this type of weapon. There are now new sound effects for all of the actions that you can see here, but there were new sounds added to the game files this patch too, consisting of opening cans with a can opener, using duct tape to patch up an item, and using a blood test kit on yourself or somebody else. These three sounds are not in the game yet, but they are in the game files for now, so it could be in the next patch. The cooking pot and gas canister in the last patch could be used to clean your bloody hands, but they didn't have the correct animation. As you can see here, new animations have been added for the cooking pot and the gas canister. The gas canister is now repairable with epoxy putty, but not the blowtorch. The barrel and tripod can be repaired with the blowtorch though, and padded gloves used to be repaired with a sewing kit and duct tape. Now it's only the leather sewing kit that can repair these padded gloves. The durability of a lot of clothing items has seen massive increases from 10 to 50% in some cases, so you won't need to repair your clothing as often in this patch, which means infected won't be such an issue against your clothing. Hats in particular had durability values greatly increased, multiple times more durability in some cases, with the tracksuit jacket and police jacket now giving 50% heat insulation instead of 0. The DMR now zeroes from the 250 meters it had last patch to a huge 1100 meters, making it better than the SVD if you have no optic, because remember the DMR has better accuracy and damage compared to the SVD, so it certainly is better without an optic. Overheating your weapon is now a lot easier in this patch, making it more frequent, but the smoke disappears faster too. I don't believe this smoke does anything but give away position. The Vikhr shotgun's rate of fire was nerfed from 450 to 300 per minute, but the recoil was also reduced on this weapon, giving it around 50% less recoil in total, but because it fires slower, it does less damage per second. Other changes were made to recoil on all of these weapons that you can see here, but I'll go over this in another video as there's a lot of details to cover. Apart from the new items that were added this patch, there are very few loot changes compared to other patches. So on Chernerus, only 4 of the 10 round 9x39 mags spawned. Now it's been doubled to 8, so you're going to see these mags twice as often, with the 20 rounder being moved to tier 3 instead of tier 4, so it's less rare instead. The only change on Livonia was the electronic repair kit, so now a maximum of 35 can spawn on Livonia, 7 times what it was because only 5 of these electronic repair kits spawned on Livonia last patch. Hitboxes have been changed on trees in the game, making them much larger but much less complex than last patch. These trees in the last patch had no foliage hitbox at all. Now they do, so your shots will do less damage through these trees instead, with details coming in a near future video. Pushing a vehicle can now only be done in neutral. Having any gear selected with or without a player inside turned on or off won't give you the option to push the vehicle. Only in neutral will work. Vehicles also cannot be pushed further with a player inside it like it was last patch, being pushed the same distance as if no player was inside at all. As for some of the more minor yet interesting changes, the field shovel, regular shovel and broom are much lighter in weight now. Torches can be refueled with rags while it's lit, so you don't have to recraft it to refill it, but brooms cannot be refueled still. You can sort by first or third person in the server browser, and you can toggle between password visibility in the launcher instead of only in the game. These Payday Masks were in a previous version of DayZ, so this could be old code resurfacing, but I believe that's not likely. I believe these masks are going to be added this year. There's 4 of them in total from the game Payday, if you didn't know, which will work a lot like the mine masks do, I'm guessing, but do be aware that this is speculation. The devs have not confirmed anything. Maybe Payday Masks will not return, and I'm just getting your hopes up. But we were right about one thing, and that's the video player now playing the Livonia DLC in the main menu. The future of DLCs is looking more and more likely. If you're wondering which DLCs I'm talking about, see this video here, or you can see my weapon changes video here, followed by the new Vikhr and why it's a top 10 weapon in DayZ video here. Now this particular hidden changes video marks 2 years of these DayZ update hidden changes type videos, so I've created a playlist that shows all the changes to DayZ from 1.16 onwards. Should you ever miss a patch, you can check out that playlist and you can get up to date, or you can look at the last 2 years of DayZ to see how it's progressed. Thank you very much for the incredible support of this video series. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good patch.